Today we're doing Hellfire. It's the full song lesson. Afra and I recently covered this song. It's available on his channel. I'll put it in the comments below. And the guitar tone I'm using, you can get on my Bandcamp. It's the Hellfire tone pack and it works with archetype Gojira. So here's the first riff. So the first chord is just a C diminished, 8, 6 and 4 on E, A and D. Then you do an inversion of an E minor, 7, 7, 5 on the same strings. So most of the song is comprised of this chord progression. Then in some repeats of the riff, you have this ending, which is some of the turnarounds of the riff. So it goes like this. E flat minor diminished, 10, 9 and 7 on E, A and D. And then the next part is just octaves. So 7 on 9 on E and D, then move up a fret, and then it slides down to the second fret. Sometimes the riff finishes with just the E flat chord and then it goes into the next riff. So it's just minor dyad, 2-note minor chords, 12 and 10 on A and D. Move it down 3 frets to 9 and 7. Move it down another 3 to 6 and 4, then bring it up 1. Very straightforward. Then the riffs just repeat, and then it's the main riff, but with slightly different chords used. One guitar is just playing the same chords as before. The C diminished to the E flat, but the other guitar are playing these 9th chords. So really you just want to fret the full 9 chord, it's just easier. So that'll be 8, 10, 12, 8, 8, 8 on all 6 strings, and then it goes to, from the A string to the high E, 7, 9, 11, 8, 7. And these chords are just played on top of the original chord progression. And then you've got some variations. So in this section, it gets a little bit crazy when it comes to the arrangement. One guitar does this. So it's based around 3 chords, the C power chord, this low E power chord, and the higher E here. And you just play this rhythm, finishing with the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. And the hammer-on and pull-off is just 7 and 9 on the A string. And the other guitar does this. So it starts off with a palm mute on the 9th chord, and then 3 strums of the chord. Now one guitar does this. So you've got to fret that 9th chord, and then you've got to play 9, 7, 9 on the D string. It's a little bit awkward. Then it goes up the notes of the chord, so pick on the G string, then the B string. And then you pick these notes. So again, just holding the chord, picking the strings G, D, G, B, then back to G. And then guitar 3 does this, because it's 3 guitar layers in the song. Fretting the chord the same as before, you're going to be picking low E, D twice, G, B, and then back to G, then D, D, G, B, G, D. And on the recording, you've got two guitar parts playing the same chords, but sometimes the picking isn't exactly the same on each part. So again, those two ninth chords, but in different places. Here is going to be 8, 10, 12. Then you do the same thing on this lower E9 chord here. Then the riff repeats, and then he gets to the ending riffs, which were written by Frost. So you have this lead. So it's based around some dyad chord shapes. So you've got this one here, 5 and 3 on D and G. Then you've got this one here, 3 and 2. Now that bit there. So you just use this F major dyad here, 3 on D, 2 on G. Then it's 2, 5, 2 on the D string. Then it does this. So you use the F major dyad here, 3 on D, 2 on G. Then you play like a D power chord, so it's open D. Then the second fret of G, then back to the D string. Then it goes back to... And then that's when the next riff comes in. Some chords backing the lead riff. It's just the same dyads really as what was played before. So you've got here, G minor, F major, back to G minor, F major. Then you've got a C major triad here, 3, 2, 0 on A, D, and G. Then after the C major, you play D minor. So if I were to sing the riff, it would be... Then, back to the same chords. Then it goes into the next riff. The way this riff is phrased and arranged is very unconventional, but that's why it's so cool. And then you've got the final riff. That leads into the next part of the riff. So here's the chords. Open D and second fret G. Then it's 0 and 3, 0, 5, 2 and 5, 0, 7, 3 and 7, 3, 5, 3, 2, 2 and 3, 0 and 2, 2 and 0, back to 0 and 2. And they're all on the D and G strings. So yeah, that's Hellfire. You can get this guitar tone from my Bandcamp. You can check out the cover Afro and I did. And tabs are also available in the description below.